Welcome back in another video. In this video, we explore the master key to wealth, the 4 steps to create wealth and prosperity in your life from Dr. Joseph Murphy lecture. So let's go. And if you don't know who Joseph Murphy was, he was a pioneer and a very strong authority and famous author of the book Power of the Subconscious Mind. And he was pretty much very famous for teaching the law of the mind and helping a lot of people to not only change their life, overcome many challenges, but to really become conscious creators in their own lives. And in his lecture, 4 steps to creating wealth and prosperity, he described those 4 steps as the master key to wealth, as the master key to create prosperity and abundance. And he says that for those people who follow those 4 steps, it is impossible not to create wealth. It is impossible not to create abundance and prosperity in their life. So we're gonna break down those 4 steps, and there you go. All you have to do then is to apply them in your own life and see abundance and prosperity manifesting for you. The first step is this. It says, first you have to accept and believe in the idea of infinite supply. You have to convince yourself that life, or what it used to call God, infinite spirit, quantum field, consciousness, whichever word you like to describe. Joseph Murphy used the word God a lot. So don't let yourself be put away if you don't like that word. You can replace it simply by something that resonates more for you and your beliefs. Now, the reason why we have to accept this God or infinite supply as the source of creation of everything, whether it's the grass or whether it's the computer screen you're watching this on, or whether it's yourself, or whether it's money, or whether it's a car, or whatever it is, everything comes from the same source. Everything, every idea, every thought, everything tangible and intangible actually came up from the same source. And everything that's not been created yet also is already present in this same source of creation, God or infinite, substance or quantum field or consciousness, universe, whatever you want to call it. Everything is already present. Everything is already created, and everything stems from the same source. So the first step is really to accept this principle that everything is connected and that all is one. And that everything that you may see around you in this physical reality is only an expression of this infinite source of abundance and creation, including me, including you, including everything else. The reason why this is so important is because the moment we start to look at life from this paradigm, we start to realize that if everything comes from the same source and the same mind, and that everything is a manifestation of the same mind, then there cannot be any lack. There can only be manifestation based on our own state of consciousness, based on how we choose to use this energy that's flowing to us and through us all the time. So we establish in our mind a belief in wealth, a belief in supply, a belief in there is always more than enough because everything comes from the same source. So the first step in this master key to wealth is to really accept the idea that all things come from the same place, from the same energy. And they're just manifestation of the same energy in many, many infinite different ways. Now, the second step then is to condition your mind through repetition to the idea of wealth and abundance. And Joseph Murphy goes on and saying, just like everything else, riding a bike, learning how to ride a car, learning how to read and write, everything requires us some degree of repetition. And to teach our mind abundance and to teach our mind wealth is no different. And he says, again, if everything comes from the same source, and that source, God, that he calls our infinite supply, that furnish everything and everything to us, then is present all around us. And all we really need to do is to invest our thoughts, invest our attention into looking for confirmation about this abundance that's already present all around us. So how do you do that? How do you look consciously for the idea of wealth and abundance in your life? Well, you can either give yourself thoughts, you can look at your own life the abundance that you have, the blessings that you have, and all the things that you already had in the past. You can also look at nature around you that is ever so full of life, ever so growing, ever full of, that infinite supply. You can look at all the cars, all the buildings, you can look at the sky, you can look at the floor you walk on. Everything around you can be a source, a symbol of abundance. So Joseph Murphy really tells us to condition ourselves to look at everything through the eyes of abundance. Because the moment you start to focus on abundance, you're going to start noticing more abundance all around you. Then the third step into this 4-step master key to wealth is to repeat this affirmation that I'm going to give you 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes in the evening every day for at least a couple of weeks until it's nice and deeply conditioned in your subconscious mind. Now, he says not to just affirm ideally by repetition and just like meaninglessly repeating those words, but to really believe in them, to really feel in them, and to affirm the truth of those sentences. So here's the affirmation. I am now writing in my subconscious mind the ideas of wealth. God is the source of my supply, and I know God is the life principle within me. And all my needs are met at every moment of time and point in space. God's wealth flows freely, joyously, and ceaselessly into my experience. And I give thanks for God's riches forever circulating into my experience. Now, this is Joseph Murphy affirmations that he tells you to affirm 5 minutes morning and evening. You're welcome to change it, change the word, make it longer, shorter. Find something that really spark a chord, that really make you feel abundant, that really convey that idea of wealth into your own subconscious mind. Okay? But I believe this is a great example. And finally, the last step, which he calls the most important, and he calls it mandatory. The last step of the master key to wealth and abundance is this, is to never let a negative thought of lack of money or finances cross your mind without being reversed. What do I mean by that? You know those thoughts like, I can't afford it, it's too expensive, money is so bad, oh, I wish I had more money. Any form of thought like this that is negative regarding money or your finances must be reversed as soon as you notice it. We have to purge our subconscious mind from all those accumulated negative thoughts of lack and scarcity. And he says that as many as 50 negative thoughts may come up when you start this process. It's almost like going at war with your subconscious mind, because it's going to give you all those crappy thoughts that you've been accumulating throughout your life. But this is an opportunity to purge it. And the more you reverse the thoughts, every thought that comes to you, the more you reverse it, the more they're going to subside, and eventually you're going to embed in your subconscious mind the idea of wealth, the idea of abundance, and the idea of infinite supply. And so he says this, he says, when you have for example, you're trying to buy something, okay, and a thought comes up, oh, I just don't have the money, or it's too expensive. Here is what Joseph Murphy recommends. He says, instead of letting that thought just go unnoticed, reverse it using this sentence. God is my instant and everlasting supply, meeting my need now. This is, I believe, a beautiful sentence that you can use and spam and change and revise those old thoughts, those old stories, those old subconscious beliefs that comes, and use to come back to reaffirm lack. And those old thoughts is pretty much the master key to lack and scarcity. And we no longer want that in our life. So we have to be really disciplined and diligent and not let any thought cross our mind without reversing it and without replacing it with a new thought, using this master key to abundance and prosperity. Because you can only serve one master at a time. So we can either serve prosperity, or we can either serve lack and scarcity. And the choice is in how we choose to control the inner working in our mind. So those, guys, are the 4 steps to the Master Key of Wealth by Dr. Joseph Murphy. Let me know what you think in a comment, and I will see you next time. Please, as always, like, share, subscribe. See you next time.